Good evening. Welcome to the forecast discussion for March 6th, 2014. It's currently 7:14 p.m. and it's a little chilly out there, definitely, with temperatures in the upper teens to lower 20s over the interior, which, by the way, is northwestern New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, the Hudson River Valley, Connecticut, and along the coast and in the urban areas, temperatures range from the mid to upper 20s. And these temperatures will be falling, unfortunately, into the upper teens to lower 20s along the coast and mid-teens over the interior as we get ready for another chilly night. Once again, our low temperature for this time of year should be around 32, 33 degrees, not around 19. So we're clearly still below normal for this time of year, with an easterly wind developing as we have a storm that's developing to our south and high pressure to the north, and that also means that we're going to see some increasing clouds through the night as well. Now on the radar, something is definitely brewing down here in the southeast. That is another major winter storm, but only for North Carolina. Gave you a little pause there. Don't worry, not going to be a problem for us. Aside from some rain tomorrow evening, especially from central New Jersey on south, really no major impacts are expected with this storm, aside from some windy conditions, a few scattered showers, and some minor coastal flooding along the New Jersey coast. For the most part, though, you could see how this precipitation is kind of getting running into a wall of dry air as it's trying to lift northward. And it's really being slowed and delayed. And the reason why you can see on the infrared and the water vapor satellite picture, which I'll show in just a moment. So as you can see, high pressure is in control, about 1,034 to 1,036 millibars, which is pretty strong for a high pressure system. Now, here we have our low pressure system. It's about 1,008 millibars, 1,006 millibars over Florida. Here's the main upper level disturbance. And you can see all the lifting of very high cloud tops, very cold cloud tops over the southeast. But as it's lifting north, they're kind of losing their punch. And the reason why is basically can be seen on the water vapor satellite picture. Basically what we have here is a situation where we have an upper level low, our polar vortex still around southeastern Canada, and there's a convergent flow. Notice this blue here, these are winds, and you see how they're kind of converging, thus leading to dry air here. What's happening is that this convergent flow is going to be enhanced over New England and over the northern Atlantic, and that's going to force this disturbance to basically move almost due east. Now we do have a little bit of a west-southwesterly wind here from basically the southern mid-Atlantic up towards the northern mid-Atlantic, and that's why we'll see rain over southern and central New Jersey, because we're going to get just enough moisture to move into these locations to produce steady rain for tomorrow evening. But again, this is not a major winter storm at all, aside from the mountains in North Carolina, where quite a bit of snow will be falling in those locations. This is one dynamic upper level disturbance that, by the way. It's a good thing that it didn't have a chance to phase with a polar jet stream, or else this could have been one very impressive winter storm. But that's not going to happen. The pattern just isn't right for that situation to unfold. And thus, we pretty much deal with some rainfall and temperatures moderating just a bit into the mid to upper 30s for highs by tomorrow evening, or tomorrow afternoon, should I say. Which, again, is still well below normal. We should be around 51, but it's better than being around 28. So what can we look forward to for our weekend? Well, first of all, what's going to happen with this storm for tomorrow is it's going to position itself off the North Carolina coast by tomorrow morning. And you see how these lines of pressure are kind of stacked here? Well, that basically is what's called a pressure gradient. And that's definitely going to lead to some very windy conditions, especially along the coast. Look for an east-northeasterly to easterly wind at around 15 to 30 miles per hour. As we head towards Saturday and for Sunday, high pressure is generally going to be in control. Look for scattered cloud cover, an isolated shower or two is possible along the coast. Look for temperatures on Saturday to range from the lower to mid 20s for lows and mid to upper 40s for highs. And then on Saturday, upper 20s to lower 30s for lows and mid to upper 40s for highs. So overall, not bad of a weekend. Still, we're going to be a bit below normal for this time of year, but not as bad as what we've been dealing with. And then high pressure is generally going to remain in control for Monday and Tuesday. Now, on Tuesday evening, we're going to be watching a cold front drop through the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area with a few scattered showers. And then it sets up an interesting scenario for the end of the week. For Monday and Tuesday, we actually return to near and even above normal temperatures. Look for low temperatures on Monday in the upper 20s to lower 30s. High temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. That's pretty much near normal. Tuesday, look for lows in the upper 30s to lower 40s and highs in the lower to mid 50s. Now, with this cold front moving through on Tuesday night, it's going to knock down our temperatures and get our low temperatures back to around the mid 30s. Then we have an area of low pressure starting to really rack up and really intensify over the Tennessee River Valley by the time we get to Wednesday morning. Now, what we're going to have set up is the subtropical disturbance, which is right here, and the polar disturbance, which is right here, start to interact. How these disturbances interact is still a bit unknown, but it looks like we're definitely going to be dealing with a major winter storm, late winter storm, just in time for the end of the week on Thursday. I want to be absolutely clear here. I think that the coast is pretty much going to be rain on this. Interior, this looks like a major winter storm for you. But the way that the whole pattern it sets up, even when the model guidance has this a little bit further east, is a very progressive one. There's not much blocking here, which means that this high pressure system that's over the Canadian Maritimes is more likely to move east than to lock in over the St. Lawrence River Valley. And you have a lot of disturbances also moving into the west coast, which also suggests a rather progressive storm track. So what I think we're going to be dealing with here is a very intense dynamic storm that's going to lift up towards northeastern Pennsylvania and towards the Delaware River Gap and towards the Mohawk River Valley, which generally leads to rain along the coast and heavy snow/mix over the interior. We have to watch this storm and see exactly how it evolves, but there's a lot of indications here that tells me that this is not a winter storm for the coast, but instead it's for the interior. A lot of keys, like this disturbance or upper level low moving into the Gulf of Alaska, throws off the timing of the ridge, throws off the timing of the trough. Not much in the way of blocking over the northern Atlantic. Polar vortex is retreating. The cold air that's going to be in place is marginal at best. And by the way, we're getting towards mid-March, which means a higher sun angle. We're going to be moving our clocks up, and that's usually an unofficial sign that winter is coming to an end. And the reason why I say that is not because of the clock, but just it's a signal that we're starting to get more sunlight. That's why we moved the clock. So, with that being the case, we're going to have more sunlight, stronger sunlight in March. So, this does not look like a major winter storm for the coast just yet, but it's something we definitely have to watch by the time we get to the end of next week. And then we end up with a more progressive pattern overall as we move in towards next weekend, with temperatures fluctuating to a below normal and then bouncing right back to above normal once again by next Sunday. Well, that is your forecast discussion for tonight. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.